Good day to you, and thank you for listening to another podcast by me, DJ, with Dacasource. I think this would make the seventh audio cast in the series. I'm realizing that making these podcasts takes some time, and it really catches up to me. I try to have these out by the end of the week, but I'm realizing that time just seems to catch up with me. And so here it is. In case you are new, I am an eBay reseller, and this is a documentary about how I'm trying to go from a part-time eBay seller to a full-time eBay professional business. I go to thrift stores, garage sales, and local online marketplaces to try to find items to resell on eBay for a profit. Hopefully, you are listening to this as you are working, probably sourcing or listing, or maybe you're just new and would like to learn more about this eBay thing. I thank you for joining me on this journey. Just real quick, I had a text message this past week just asking what I'm doing for my other job. And I may have mentioned this previously in one of my earlier audios. And what I am doing for a part-time job is I'm making deliveries for restaurants. And I am a driver for DoorDash and also for Postmates. And I'm trying to also be a driver for Grubhub and Uber Eats. And this really helps supplement my income while I'm, I guess, waiting to grow my business enough to make a full-time income. And so when I'm working with this part-time job, what it allows me to do is during the dead times while I'm waiting for a delivery, because what happens is you just wait and you activate that you're ready to do some deliveries, and they send you a job, like they'll send you to Chipotle, for example, and you'll go pick up the food there and then take it and deliver it to the customer for a certain amount. It could be anywhere from $8 to $12, maybe sometimes more, and you can get maybe 2 to 3 deliveries an hour, and so you can make up to $20 an hour. But there are times when you are just sitting there waiting for a delivery. And so what I do is I can run into a thrift store really quick. Or if it's on the weekend, I can go to garage sales while I'm waiting. And so I'm finding that this is a good supplement to my income. I mostly do this during the week. I can schedule my deliveries so that I go to thrift stores in the morning until from about 9 to noon. And then at noon, I can schedule myself to make deliveries till about 2 or 3 o'clock after the lunch run is done. And then I can go back in the evening if I want to make some extra money. And so that's just the side job I've been doing. The great thing about this is that you are contract labor. And so you do make your own hours. You do schedule yourself. And I'm finding that it's been working great as a great supplement income. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me, and I can tell you more about these services. They mostly happen in the bigger cities. And so since I'm near San Antonio, it's worth driving the 20 minutes or so to work while I'm out there thrifting anyway. Another issue that I'm running into, this goes toward my business, is I recently have moved into buying shoes, and they are selling really well. And there's two problems when you start getting the shoes. Um, Now, I had always bought shoes, but never to the scale that I'm doing it now. And so the first problem is I cannot get the postal service to deliver me enough shoe boxes. Um, it's taken me maybe 2 weeks to get boxes from U.S. Postal Service, which I don't understand because they deliver my stuff in 2 to 3 days. But that being said, the other thing that I'm having trouble with is inventory, storing the inventory. It used to be I would have one or two totes of shoes, and I guess in this, in the scope of things, that's not very many totes. But now I'm moving out of that into three or four, and I have some stored in my one of my closets in my inventory room. And so the problem I'm running into is how to keep track of these shoes. I don't want to put them in the same totes as my clothing. And so what I'm thinking about doing is that for the bigger, bulkier shoes, the ones that will go into shoe boxes, I'm going to go ahead and pre-pack into the postal shoe boxes. If you don't know, you can get shoebox priority mail boxes from the U.S. Postal Service for free. And so far they've worked great. And then I'm going to stack those boxes and put my inventory SKU number on the outside, and then order the boxes as I stack them in numerical order so I can find them pretty easily. That will take more storage, but that's again for the bulkier shoes. Like if I have a pair of Danskos, a little bit bulkier, or a pair of boots, I'm going to pre-box those and stack them up. I saw this on the Bonafide Hustlers channel. If you watch anything on YouTube, and he showed his inventory wall where he had all these boxes of boots and shoes stored. And I'm going to do something similar, but on the outside, I'm putting the SKU number and a very brief, like just the brand name of the shoe that's inside. And I'm going to just put a little piece of tape on one of the sides. So that way I can open the box and confirm everything before I actually ship it out. And I think this is probably going to work best for the bigger stuff. The smaller stuff, the sandals and the lighter shoes, that can probably go into a padded flat rate envelope. I'm going to put into bins like I have been. And then I'm going to number the bins. And then on my spreadsheet, I have a storage location field, and I'll put like SH1 or SH2 for the bin, and SH being abbreviation for shoes. And then that way I have it really clearly marked out. But it's going to take me a little bit of time to get into sorting that inventory out, because I have 2 or 3 full bins of shoes. But right now I'm waiting for more shoe boxes before I can start that. Okay, time for the sales update for this week. And I have to say that it was a fantastic week. Here is our numbers for this week. We have 400 items listed and active. And to be completely honest, I am just having trouble getting the active listings any higher. Things are just selling as fast as we can list. We had an incredible listing day last week where we, I think, listed 20 items to get us up to 420, but it just dropped down. And it's a good problem to have. I'd rather have this problem than not being able to sell things. And so it seems like once we reached 400 items, it seems like eBay just woke up. Things have been selling like crazy, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it was the end of the month payday or what, but it is a great feeling to have these numbers right now. I have for the week 37 items sold. The average sale price was $39.83. And the total revenue, including shipping, was $1,752.24. Total profit out of that, complete profit, $860. Now, if I add the revenue from my other job, which is very part-time, it's made $1,021.25 total. Now, I had said that I was going to keep track of or rate the profit I'm making by an hourly wage for a 40-hour work week. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm taking the money I made, money that is going into the bank, which is my profit plus my other money I've made from my other jobs, and I'm dividing that by 40, which should give me a good idea of an hourly wage. And so my hourly wage for this week was $25.53. Now, I feel like I work more than that, but to give me an idea where my, money-making potential is versus having a full-time career, that would probably be like a 40-hour work week. $25 per hour right now is excellent. If I could do this every week, then I am ready to go full-time into eBay. And, I don't know what to say. I don't know if next week is going to be the same. I think we should see, but this is just a wonderful taste of what it could be like. I mean, making $1,021 a week. I didn't think that would happen yet. This week I had 3 days in a row that I sold over $300 a day, and that's revenue. And I just simply don't know what happened. I think some possibilities are that eBay just woke up after 400 listings, after we reached 400 listings. It seems like once we reached 400 listings, sales have just taken off. I don't know if that means that it demonstrated to eBay that I was being active on the site. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the end of the month and people had more money, or it was just timing, or just a glitch in what I have been selling. But these are the numbers I want to make. And the honest truth is that we are not done growing yet. I don't know, like I said, if I should expect this next week. I'm hoping that this continues to be a trend. But I guess that's part of the journey. We shall see. Stay tuned for next week's update. Okay, I guess what I wanted to talk about today was a little bit about my strategy and how I go about finding things to sell. A lot of times you'll see posts online or get questions asking, what should I sell on eBay? What are the items? And my simple answer to that question every time is to sell things that sell. It's pretty simple. Some things sell well on eBay, some things don't. There are times when, you'll hear people say, is eBay slowing down? Or I had a slow week. Just because it's slow for one person doesn't mean it's slow for everyone. It is all about what you are selling. If you sell stuff that people want to buy, people will buy them. And this is just my opinion. And it seems to be working for me right now. Now, of course, there are little things you can do within your strategy and the way you sell on eBay that gets your items ranked higher in the searches. But generally, you still have to sell stuff that people want to buy. If you aren't getting any sales, and it's likely someone doesn't want your product. And if someone doesn't want your product, your items, it's not eBay's fault. It's not the customer's fault. It's the seller's fault for not selling the things people want. Even if you don't have a good standing with eBay and your items are down the list on the search, eventually somebody's going to find it and it's going to sell. Or there are other things you can do to make your item more popular in the search rankings. But I don't get caught up in the conspiracy theories that say, eBay is favoring certain people over another. All my listings are down the rankings. No one's buying it. It's a seasonal slowdown, which it could be. But that still goes with this idea of selling things that people want to buy when they want to buy it. And so what I sell are things that appear to sell well on eBay. I try not to get caught up in a certain niche. Most of what I sell as my bread and butter items are men's shirts. But I will sell anything that sells well on eBay. And my job is to know better than anyone else, better than my competition on eBay, better than the thrift stores and the garage sale owners. My job is to know better than anyone else the items that sell well on eBay. Some people go to thrift stores and they get mad at the thrift store for high prices. If you've been anywhere on social media about eBay sales, you've probably heard that before. You know what? They're retailers just as we are. And they have every right to price their items high. I'm sure there are people on buyers that come on eBay and say, these sellers sell their stuff for so much. Well, you can't get mad at the thrift store for trying to make money. If I owned a thrift store, I would want to price my items higher. But even if I go to a thrift store where items are priced higher, I believe that I know the brands better than the person in the back pricing the items. I can't tell you how many times I've come across items in thrift stores, like men's shirts, where the price was outrageous, especially for shirts not that great. I've seen Gap shirts or Old Navy shirts priced high. But I've seen them also mess the brands that are not as well known. This is where I win. Those brands that you don't see so often, maybe once or twice a year. And there's lots of them. And the question is have I done my research to know these brands? And let me tell you that there are tons of resources out there. You have weekly, there are videos on YouTube that are showing items that people have sold. If you want to see the items I sell, I post all my sold items on Instagram, and you can find the links below. So I guess what this message is really about is that when you own a business, you control your business. You can't get mad at other people. You can't get mad at thrift stores. You can't get mad at buyers, because this is the arena that we chose to play in. You can only control what you can control. And in my blunt opinion, if you don't like something about it, or someone doesn't like something about eBay, then get off eBay. No one is forcing you to sell on eBay. There is a supply and demand model, economic model, that is running in the background of sales. And it is very true that some items can be oversaturated in the eBay marketplace. So either you can start getting mad at everyone because everyone else is selling the same things you are, or you can pivot and make a change. A perfect example of this is Tommy Bahama shirts. When I first started selling these shirts, it seemed like all the shirts were selling. But I can't tell you how common they are now, even in the regular marketplace, even when I go to thrift stores. They're so common now that it's not even worth me buying them unless there's something really special about that item. I recently sold a black Tommy Bahama embroidered shirt. I mean, really fancy embroidery. Those I will get, but the plain ones, not really worth my time and expense. The market is just flooded. A lot of the big name brand, or the good brands that were selling well in the past, are starting to sell in Costco, bringing the accessibility and the popularity of the item on eBay, bring it down. When brands decide to sell in a bigger arena, the items become more common and less valuable. So my point is, when it comes down to it, you need to sell things that sell. And the only way to be able to do that is to do lots of research. In my early morning routines, I spend quite a bit of time listening to other content providers, listening to the things that they've sold. That way, when I come across it, I know that I need to check this item out. Also, I look at sold listings. Doing your own research in an area that you may not be very competent in. When you're in the store, pull out your mini computer that you make phone calls on and research the item right then and there. Look at how many have sold. Look at how much they've sold for. Look at the price that you're about to buy it for, and see if there's room to make money. You have the answer right at your fingertips. Again, sell things that sell well, period. That's the way to make money on eBay. Now, some people are into antiques. I don't know antiques. Some people are into license plates or whatever their niche is. I try not to stay in a niche. I have some items that I'm very familiar with, like men's shirts, and now I'm getting familiar with shoes. But I try not to stay stuck there. I try to learn, have a very wide range of items in my store. And so that would be my suggestion to you. I know everybody's got their theory on how things work, but for me, what's working right now is finding items that sell well. And that's all I have to say about that. I think that is going to be all for today. I know this was a little short, but once again, thank you for joining me and listening. Feel free to leave me a message. The contact info is in the show notes. You can call or leave a message at my business number, 512-539-0116, or you can email me at dacasource@gmail.com. I list all the items I sell on my Instagram, which is Dacasource. So please like and subscribe as I look to grow my social media avenues. Thanks so much for listening, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.